Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Kicking it stateside. We are in here for a special edition Sunday show here. Of course, with every 2020, everything kind of gets switched around. But like we always say, we give the people what they want. We're here. We're ready. We're still going to give you a full 2 hours. There's a lot to talk about, man. What do you think?
Nothing like a good Saturday morning root canal to get your day started unexpectedly. So thanks, everybody, for bearing with us and allowing us to move to Sunday morning. Luckily, the spot was open on the A2D platform, so we hop right in, and maybe it worked out in our benefit because there was a lot going on yesterday in the game that we would have had to wait an entire week to talk about. So now we're able to squeeze that into this week's episode as well. So,
yeah, get to talk a little bit about yesterday's games. Obviously, we saw the big one was the Manchester Derby yesterday, which was a very lackluster, stale performance. Both teams, I feel like, were playing not to lose the game.
I'm still waking up from that one.
A brutal, I think, 2 shots in the second half combined. Made for quite a snoozer, but we'll kind of get into that then. Also, yesterday, we got Chelsea losing to Everton. So the Toffees are back on the winning side of things. But then you look at Chelsea. Is there some concern with some of these wing players? With Pulisic has his injury problems of his own, and then you got Ziyech, who knows, he might be out for a long time. So there's a lot of Chelsea fans that are clamoring to sign another winger in January. It's like, guys, we just spent like almost $300 million this past summer. Let's relax.
Yeah, now they got Frank in a bad position, asking Timo to have to kind of play that and getting Giroud in there and rotating. But I mean, at some point, you can't just keep bringing guys in. You got these guys signed under contract, maybe like a low level type, filling kind of guy. Willian probably would have been nice for you still at this point, but
yeah, I mean, it's an opportunity for some of these guys like Hudson-Odoi and whatnot to kind of take that role, and we'll see. We'll kind of get into that then. Villa got back on the winning side yesterday, beating Wolves, which was kind of a strange one.
Yeah, a lot of, what was there, about 9 cards in that game, maybe more.
Yeah.
If you count the double yellows that turned into reds, I think there was at least 9 in that game. Villa going a man down and finding a way to win on a late pen, which had its own controversy as well, which we can discuss. I guess he wasn't in the most fan favor of recent, and Tyrone Mings took El Ghazi's back there. So
yeah, that's nice.
Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah, Eddie Havertz is not a winger. I don't understand why we keep playing players out of position. I don't know. That's a great question, because the past few weeks he has not looked very good. And it looks like the Premier League is maybe a little too quick for him at this point in time. So
yeah, I mean, it happens.
And it takes some players longer to adapt to a certain league than others. Some people hit the ground running. Some people, it takes even a goddamn year to figure it out. But
again, that whole team's different if everybody's healthy, though.
Yeah. And literally,
if you have a healthy Pulisic and a healthy Ziyech, yeah, and now Timo up top, then Havertz gets to play where he's comfortable playing. But, I can tell you one thing about no matter what level you're coaching at with this sport is soccer players are soccer players. And sometimes you're expected to just play a role, and occasionally you have to play out of position and just play your role and try to help the team. And unfortunately, it just hasn't. That's not a good spot for him. So Frank needs to stop going there.
Right. And I mean, shit. It's, again, when you don't have all your players at your disposal, you're putting yourself, you got to make do what you got. And something's not working at this point in time, but again, I think they'll figure it out eventually. Obviously, I mentioned the Manchester derby was yesterday, so I think this is there's like 400 minutes that Man City hasn't scored or something like that. The past, I think, 4 games, maybe. I don't think they've put the ball in the net, so it's not your father's Manchester City. It's not the Manchester City of old. Yeah.
I wish it was our father's Manchester City, because then they wouldn't even be here.
They'd be in the 3rd division.
Yeah.
But the poll question for today, is it time to hit the panic button on Manchester City? Is there a lot of concern of how they've played so far this season? They're not as dynamic as they were the 100-point, league winners. What was that, 2 years ago? It's a definitely different squad than that team.
It's been pretty clear so far that Pep and pretty much all the players have leaned more towards Champions League and putting that more in the forefront of their priorities, it looks like, than the Prem at this point. So
yeah, absolutely. And again, when you're a good team, you're playing all these games, and especially now with COVID, from them not getting that much of a break to you're playing in all these cups, you got Champions League. It's definitely, I think, taking a huge toll on some of these bigger clubs.
Oh, yeah.
You always see.
I saw a funny meme about Klopp this morning and is complaining about the league and television, all that. But if you look back at him, he's a guy that's burned the same 11 for the last 2 straight years now.
Yeah.
He hasn't rotated guys in. He hasn't taken opportunities when they were there to get some of his younger players in. Every week we talk about it. We're like, oh, here's going to be the week that he plays the, rotated squad, and then everybody's still in there again. So,
yep.
I mean, at some point you just have to accept it. These lower level teams don't even have that kind of depth, and they have to do it when they're playing extra games. So at some point you just got to be able to get some other guys in there.
Yeah. And again, when you have Phil Foden on the bench, not a lot of teams are able to have that kind of quality where you can just be like, all right, well, Mahrez and Sterling aren't doing their jobs, so we can bring in this young kid who's probably better than, all of Sheffield's roster, all of Burnley's roster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
poor Jeff has been, his teams just have not been playing
Jeff,
so well.
The City
lately.
fan. It's tough.
The Union City fan. It's a tough go of recent.
Whew. But yeah. And good morning to everybody. Sorry, Ralphie.
Yeah, anybody who's joined us.
Eddie, of course.
Ralphie, Frank.
Tommy, thank you.
Jesse, 49.3.
He got confused on what football the show is about. But I appreciate that that score line. Oh, Jake. What's up, brother?
Yeah, Man U is not much better.
No.
They're a point better in the Prem, and they'll be one of the favorites to win Europa now. Them and Spurs, I would say, are probably your 2 Europa League favorites. So,
and that's a pretty good segue as well into Champions League is reached the round of 16. We get our draw tomorrow morning. So when you wake up tomorrow, I believe you should know everything, because I believe it's 6 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah,
time.
I mean, my day will already be long started by the time that goes off. But for most people, they're going to wake up and they're going to have answers. Yes, I know, Eddie. I agree. We will talk about your Rangers. Don't worry. They're on my favorites list for Europa. They're absolutely on my favorites list. But, yeah, we have at 6 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow, we'll have the drawing for the Champions League. And then at 7 a.m., you have the drawing for Europa.
Yeah. So it should be exciting times.
Yes, yes.
And by next show, we'll have these matchups to see, these are when you get you get the big dogs versus the big dogs. So
yeah,
should be exciting times as well. United dropping down. They could not get past Leipzig. So Man United will join Europa League.
Yeah, Europa's at 32, not 16 like Champions League, but same draws. I'm sure Arsenal will get a really tough team, and Spurs and United will get like young boys and
you could beat the young boys.
Antwerp goes through again after their huge win against Spurs.
Man.
Spurs will probably get a third game with Antwerp while Arsenal takes on,
that's their
Rangers
kryptonite.
yeah.
Well, I do appreciate Rangers this week, Eddie. I did bet on them to win. I wasn't sure on the road, but I was like, you know what? They can beat Lech Poznan on the road. I'm sorry.
At this point, you got to take the Rangers in any bet that involves them not losing.
Undefeated in all competitions.
if you can get any type of number on them just not losing, winning or drawing, I mean, they're just rolling. Best team number one team in the world right now. Number one team in the world.
Hammer Rangers all day, every day. That's the Willie Vegas betting corner. I can make a video every day. Just Rangers playing.
Yeah.
Bet the farm.
You just have to choose wisely between wins and draws. Which ones they're going to win and which ones they're going to draw.
Right on. There you go. We're giving the love, man. I love the Rangers.
Yes.
Instead of those other shitbags across the way. In Glasgow. What else we got? Oh, a pointless U.S. men's national team game took place.
Sure did.
I'd love to see what people think on the 6-0 drubbing of our poor El Salvadorians.
I have about 2 thoughts on the entire game, and I watched a whole handful of it. I think I watched till about 5-0, and then I figured it was safe to.
It was safe.
It was safe when it was 5-0, 28 minutes into the game or whatever it was. So.
Bill Hamid would never give up 5.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Very interesting squad. Again, I understand it. I'm not going to kill Berhalter on this one because of who the competition was, and made a lot of sense actually. I think there was something to gain from running that squad out there that he did. And on top of that, just to kind of go in with that, we do have since that team was pretty much all MLS players, we have an MLS champion. Congratulations to Columbus last night. It was nice to see anybody but Seattle take that dub. My man Derek Etienne Jr. with a huge second goal. It was pretty much over after that one. That put him up 2-0 at halftime. I was happy to see it. It was unfortunate that just another guy Red Bull neglected to pay, and he's doing big things elsewhere. So congratulations to Columbus and him on their title.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was definitely thinking that it was basically Seattle's to take this year again to win back-to-back. But again, why Columbus had a home match when they were the 3 seed and Seattle was, I believe, the 1 seed in the West?
Because the MLS is stupid in that and needs to come up with a neutral site. But the only way they're going to do that is when the U.S. finally names like a home stadium. Like England's home stadium is Wembley.
Yes.
Like we need a home stadium. We need to designate a home stadium. Point blank, period.
We should.
And if it's one of these new beautiful stadiums getting built, I'm all for it. There's a beautiful place being built in Austin. Columbus is getting their new stadium. Yep. I understand the nostalgia of why they did it, I guess, being that it was the last game ever played in that stadium. But for a championship, I don't. Once they went to this format of single leg eliminations and all that, Or it should just always be a neutral site.
It should be, but we want, I don't even know. If they wanted parity with Columbus winning, that they just had to have them host the game to give them any type of chance. Without two of their best players as well, with Nagby and Pedro Santos did not play.
I mean, even if you wanted to rotate because of Canada's influence in the league, and you wanted to have 1 year at a Canadian neutral site and 1 year at a U.S. neutral site, but with some kind of consistency, or even do it like they do the Super Bowl and announce it years ahead of time. And if you happen to make it at your home game, then that's great. But if you don't, you don't. And
luck of the draw.
Yeah. I think that would give a little bit more credibility to that championship and the league in general, I think. But
I agree. Also, I guess to finish up the show, a little red card, yellow card, hot seat, racism, cool throw,
always
women.
Man,
that's my only hint.
That's your only hint. Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
What's up, Wills? Thanks for
stopping by. I guess to talk on the ladies, because this shouldn't fall into the red or the yellow card. One very positive thing, if anybody did not see last night, was that the head referee for the championship was a woman, and that signifies the first time a head referee in any North American sport championship was a woman. So,
yep,
big ups to the MLS on that one, and she's done a pretty good job in her career. Although Union fans may debate that on a controversial offsides call that she had of recent, but
no, she was good.
Yeah,
and that wasn't real. That was more a cool throne of women being on. We don't need to worry about it. And that Sarah Fuller for Vandy made history kicking the first extra point.
Yeah, everybody wanted to dog her after that kickoff because if anybody, paid any attention, you could tell that was a designated play. That wasn't her attempt at kicking the ball down the field. So she comes back and she gets an opportunity and bangs in an extra point, which everybody's going to go, oh, my God, it's an extra point. But I'd like to see some of you lumps go out there and kick a few extra points and see actually how hard it is to kick an 18-yard field goal.
There's a lot of keyboard warriors. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, especially with a bunch of grown men coming down on you.
It happens.
So good for her. Good for her.
Yes. What else we got? Nothing else crazy besides that. We'll obviously, before we get into it, the usual sponsors. We got the Gutter Boys, the Gutter Guys and Boys. Ambuck Services, the men. That
was pretty good, Tim Allen.
Thank you so much. I've been working on my Tim Allen impressions for the last couple days. So there we go. Ambuck Services. Again, we've been preaching about these guys and telling you for the past year, almost and a half now, that we've been doing this show. And today is probably going to be our last 50-degree day. I know I say that every week.
It's going to hit 61 today in the beautiful New Jersey area. So I
promise, I'm telling you, this is it. Last 50-degree day. So you should have gotten your deck all made up for the winter time. Shrubs should be nice and looking fresh. Gutters should be cleaned out. All the leaves that have came down off the tree. Obviously, they're still going to be out there busting their ass. I'm sure with this snowstorm apparently coming on Wednesday, they're going to have some work to be done after all that.
Oh, yeah.
So get it in now. Get ahead of time. Get, anticipation. That's what Dickie V used to say.
Be prepared.
Yeah. Obviously, you can find them at ambusservices.com or give them a call, 856-879-5530. Obviously, got to give a shout out to the good Doc Paul Vidal. Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC. Again, I don't know what Jersey's situation with shutting things down at this point in time.
We're not far behind.
I know PA is pretty much donezo for the next 3 weeks. So if Jersey decides to go that way, have no fear. You could still do virtual consultations with the good doctor. He's been on some of these shows, these Eagles shows. You could talk sports with him while he's figuring out the kinks.
Yeah, unfortunately, I missed Fan Friday, which I wanted to pop on and get into that, top athletes in Philadelphia under the age of 28, because I can guarantee you, without you and I influence in there wasn't one Union player. And looking at the spectrum of Philadelphia sports right now, there should have been at least 2 on that list of that age range. But that's when the tooth pain unfortunately started, and it just wasn't happening. I wasn't hopping on, and then woke up Saturday morning in complete agony. So unfortunately, I missed it and wasn't able to represent, our great sport on that show, because it definitely needed to be on there. Even though one of the best players is on his way out of Philly, Aronson definitely should have made that top 10 of best athletes in Philadelphia under the age of 28. So.
For sure. We did miss our chance to stick up for the Union.
We'll have plenty more, don't worry.
Yeah.
But we always have our chance to stick up for the good doctor. So.
Oh, I mean, at any chance I get. I know I'm not a Jersey guy, but, I have a lot of people and friends in Jersey, and I always tell them, I'm like, dude, Ambuck and the good doc, he's got 3 locations. You shouldn't be able to miss him. You know, Burlington, Cherry Hill, and the beautiful Princeton, New Jersey.
You got that whole little corridor covered. I mean, all the way up Route 1, 130, 38. Like, get out there and see him. Again, if you can't go see him, you got the online consult, which he will do. Like I said, I recommended a bunch of my guys going there, dealing with knocks. Some are having some surgery, so they're going to need some therapy after their surgeries. So hopefully he can help them out.
Absolutely. And I always give a shout out to Philly Drinkers, Alex over there, throwing down. Busy time for him, I'm sure, with Christmas rapidly approaching us here. I know I put in my Christmas order. I got, luckily for my family, they all are getting either Kickin' It Stateside shirts or A2D shirts. Yay!
Nice.
Yeah. A nice $200 purchase for A2D gear or Kickin' It Stateside gear. So if you
they better be appreciative.
Oh, they better be. And, if you need a good stocking stuffer, they got anything. I got this sweet sticker that said just John.
Nice.
If you need a cheap, it's $5, and you could say A2D, and you get 25% off. Bada bing, bada boom, you got yourself a little Christmas gift for the fam.
Easy. Some nice socks. Everybody likes socks in their stocking.
Mm-hmm. Sweet winter hats, nice jackets, sweet hoodies. All the shows are available to get. So now's the time to get it. Probably the next couple days before he's going to ship it out, everything to get you to get it all in before the holidays. So check out phillydrinkers.com. Use the promo code A2D for 25% off.
And check out all the good shows on A2D as well. Don't get the merch, but check out all the guys and gals now of A2D Radio and the great lineups we have. You can find them all posted on our socials, on A2D's socials. And everybody's doing a great job helping grow this thing. So thanks to the boss man, and thanks to everybody for continuing to be a family and working together. I know we've had a lot of trying stuff of recently as a little fam in the group text, and everybody, it's nice that everybody sticks together and everybody's there for each other. And that's what this is all about. So much appreciated.
Well said. Well said.
So, and on that note, let's get rolling, because score alert. Let's go Palace.
Palace has tied it 1-1 I forgot to even mention that. We got a game going on right now. Crystal Palace, Tottenham. Palace has just tied the game up at 1. If I can look up who just scored. I don't even know. I hope Patty Van Aanholt.
Schlupp.
Jeffrey Schlupp. He's playing pretty well this year. Good for him.
Yeah, he's not playing like a schlupp.
He's not. Because he was.
He was
very Schlupp-like.
Dude, that would be monstrous if they can find a way to hold this. But in typical Palace form and typical Spurs form, 9 minutes plus stoppage time is not always safe here. So let's not count our chickens before, I guess they say, and hope that this sticks to a 1-pointer for Spurs, or maybe even Palace grabs another.
That's a good point Eddie brings up. What is the point of Bale going to Spurs if he wasn't going to play? Well, I saw some stupid report, and some guy on ESPN wrote an article about how they need to be patient with Gareth Bale. And I'm like, why? The guy's been around forever. He's like...
What's the difference if he's not playing for Spurs or not playing for Madrid? I mean, at least he's happy and he's back at Spurs, right?
I mean,
he's closer. He's closer to home.
He's getting paid to sit on the bench for the last 2 years.
The signing was pointless because they already had Bergwijn playing really well. They already had Mora every time he came in contributing when Jose first came over and took over. Yeah. And then that kind of went to the wayside. So it was a pointless signing to begin with. I didn't understand it, but
I think it was just a headline grabber. You know, the forgotten son comes back and maybe has, that's like his rejuvenated career coming back to Spurs where it all started.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was a nostalgia move, I guess.
It was. And it was trying to get people, even though there's nobody in the seats. Well, now there is, but I feel like Jose he loves who he loves, and he just is. If you're in that doghouse, it's not good because you could talk to Dele about it, and he'll tell you. That man's not seen the field. Remember when Mourinho took over last year and Dele was scoring at will, and he looked like this incredible world-class player, and now all of a sudden he's just riding pine.
Dele and Lucas, they were absolutely on fire, and I don't even know if either are on the team anymore at this point. So
they're getting minutes for the U23s.
Yeah, but I mean, can you blame them? They are sitting in the top of the table right now, so he's doing something right.
He's pushing buttons, and it's called Harry Kane and Sonny.
Yeah, that'll wear off.
I mean, HK is... I mean, his goal was a little lucky. I feel like the goalie should have done much better with that. It was a bit of a howler, but hey.
Yeah.
Good for Spurs and good for my fantasy team, which I'm still in relegation. I'm still battling.
Paul, you're just out. You're just out. I think you were 4. No.
I'm 3.
12?
No, I'm 13th.
Are you? Oh.
But I have 4th most points in the league. How does that even work out?
Yeah, bad matchups.
I told my team at halftime of the last game, I'm like, guys, I love you. You're playing your butts off, but we're just getting unlucky. We're not getting the right bounces. Still love them.
Well, I'm still rolling your boy Mendy over Henderson out there, but that might change soon.
Yeah. Well, that's good,
still
I guess.
At top of the table.
Of course.
Che with another goal today, assisted by Bednarik. So that's I'll take that. That's a few points. I haven't checked yet this morning, but
that's a good place to start. A little breakfast game this morning. We had Southampton beating Sheffield 3-0. Talk about two teams that are going opposite in trajectories here, with Southampton flying up the table, and Sheffield has 0 wins and 1 point.
Nothing.
Through 12 weeks. And that is concerning for Chris Wilder. And I saw something again on ESPN that was like, Sheffield needs to be patient. They were obsessed with being patient this week with people. Sheffield should be patient with Chris Wilder and not be quick to pull the trigger and fire him, which is stupid to me. It's like 1 point.
Yeah.
Like, it's an Eddie Howe situation just waiting to happen at Bournemouth. Like, the guy did so much for you as a club, but now the results, and your team's just not good enough. And you bring in Ryan Brewster, which we keep talking about, and the guy doesn't even see the field.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough situation there because that team played so well last year, so well.
Overachieved
to the team. Yeah, and they won games and they won close games and they found ways to do it. And this year they found ways to lose every possible way.
Like last week.
Yeah.
Looking for a point. And then all of a sudden Jamie Vardy take a little lapse and then he scores a game winner.
Yeah. I tell guys all the time, man, this game is all it takes is 30-second momentary lapse in 90 minutes. If you lose 30 seconds in 90 minutes, it can cost you an entire game.
Mm-hmm. And that's
we've talked about that with Henderson, going back to United. But see, they picked up a very serviceable replacement in Aaron Ramsdale. And that hasn't been their problem. It's not like he's out there giving up 3-4 goals a game. I mean, most of their games are 1-goal games. They just can't put the ball in the net.
And that's an issue. And we've seen that with Norwich last year. When you can't score and you can't defend, that's just a recipe for getting relegated.
Yeah, like last year it was McGoldrick and McBurney and even Billy Sharp contributing and, guys kind of coming out of nowhere.
Guys. Like John Lundstrom and Fleck. And
Fleck and Lundstrom were on fire for like 2 months last year. And now, like, literally nothing. There is just no support offensively.
It's an issue. And
it is.
Like I said, you try and solve it and you pay all this money for a kid that's kind of unproven in the Premier League and Ryan Brewster. His kid was on loan at Swansea last year and he just lit it up. Led Swansea to the damn playoffs and goes back to Liverpool, knows pretty much the writing's on the wall. He's not going to play anytime soon.
Missed that big PK against Arsenal.
Yeah, I think that's where it started.
And then literally got like a week later that's when they sent him to Sheffield in that deal.
Yep. And he just is not playing. He got a sub, I believe, in the last game. I want to say against Leicester, but it's like you pay all this money for he's supposed to be your savior, the guy that's going to get you the goals, because obviously McGoldrick's not a Premier League striker. Billy Sharp's like 40 years old. McBurney, I think, has 1 goal this year. It's just it's brutal.
It's tough. It's very tough. And yeah, I mean, sitting here, they're in bad shape, man. 1 point through 12 games. I mean, even West Brom's got 6.
You got to get a draw here or there, and they're pissing games away. They should have tied last week. Then, one little lapse of judgment. That's all Jamie Vardy needs is that little bit of space where he can do his thing and get in behind, and that's what happens. And RIP to the corner flag at Sheffield. Just snaps it in half as he's doing his celebration, sliding into it.
Yeah, there was a few interesting memes in the soccer world that came out from that one. So.
That was amazing. RIP to that corner flag. Poor at Bramall Lane. But on the other case, I mean, Southampton fucking playing awesome this season. Just keeps on rolling. Stewie Armstrong again. He had a little blip last year where he started putting the ball in the net, and it seems like he's doing it again this year. He's pretty consistent.
Yeah, they're getting goals from Redmond again. Like he's got to have a handful at least this year already, which is crazy to believe.
Yeah, McGoldrick was a bad choice. My brother checking in, who is like was in first place. You two are battling it out.
We're battling. I took my number 1 spot back, but he's right on my heels. I only had him by 3 points. So we had the same exact record, and I literally had 3 points more than him. So he's doing his thing this year, but McGoldrick is hurting.
Yeah, you get rid of your you get rid of your Sheffield players ASAP if you're playing any fantasy sport right now.
Yeah,
because they ain't gonna get you shit.
Yeah, maybe take a flyer on Brewster, because sooner or later he's gonna have an opportunity to save this team. They have to. They got to start running him out.
You don't think like their front office is like to Chris, like, yo, Chris, like, we just paid all this money for you to get a damn striker, and now you're not going to play him? Like, what's up?
There's got to be more to this story that we just don't know at this point. You know,
maybe it's just immature. I don't know.
Yeah, his kid's still young. I don't think he was knocked at any point. I mean, I didn't really hear much on the injury front with him, so I don't know. So. I don't know what it is, but they really need to figure it out, because as we always say, you know, it's a long season, but we're hitting that third mark. We're
coming up to Boxing Day here.
Yeah, Boxing Day is pretty much it. You hit Boxing Day at this point, we'll be a third of the way, a little more than third of the way through the season. So
it's flying on by, man.
It sure is. It sure is.
I guess yesterday as well, reverse back to Saturday. Obviously, you mentioned it. Chelsea lost. Everton. The Toffees back on track, 1-0 on a Gylfi Sigurdsson PK. Chelsea is now, the tape is out that they cannot break any team down. People are just going to start sitting in and making you pass your way through them, and they are not doing a very good job at it.
Which is crazy, because like the personnel would lead me to believe you should be able to. You have the right players. You know, you got guys that, I mean, Havertz is an incredible passer of the ball. Conte is a great passer of the ball. I mean, you should be able to play a certain way and get some movement and get that ball going. And you have so much firepower. I don't get it, because they have Champions League game where they come out and they're just running roughshod on everybody, and then they get back in the Prem and it's like they forget how to play. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't understand. I mean, how the team he's putting out there is not scoring at least one goal. And maybe it's being not clinical. I mean, Timo has been in good positions, but he's not finishing his chances. And then yesterday, I don't even know who got any shots on net for them. It was just their final third was terrible.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And a little bit of a goalkeeper howler for Mendy, which you don't see, just kind of runs over Calvert-Lewin in the box for the PK.
Yeah, there was a lot of, you know, the Kepa lovers out there, and you know who you are, Eddie. He had a lot to say, you know, saying, and he's probably not wrong. I mean, certain goalkeepers maybe don't make that play and even cause the penalty, but
I think that's one knock on Mendy. He needs to be more decisive on if he's going to come out or stay back. You can't be in between as a goalie, or you're going to get burned. And he did that. He got burned in that Patrick Bamford goal last week.
Yeah,
he wasn't sure whether to come or go, and it cost him in the end. You got
part of that is getting trust and comfort with your defenders, and it hasn't been that many weeks. I mean, you want these guys to come in and make immediate impacts, yes, but you got to be a little patient.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's nice to have a veteran with Thiago back there, because Kurt Zuma looks like a different player. They kept like blowing him yesterday during the match, saying this is the best Kurt Zuma's ever looked. It's like, well,
it is. He's got what? He's got 5 goals this year.
Yes,
and he's playing good defense.
I want to see multiple.
He's still Kurt Zuma.
He's still Kurt. Yes, he's getting the goals. I mean, he can jump out of the freaking stadium.
Yeah.
It's just he just is very unorthodox, and every time he's on the ball, I pucker up.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, pass it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean,
well, you ran into Everton at a bad time. You knew sooner or later this team was going to figure it out and at least do something. I mean, they were playing really well, and I don't think they played that great yesterday.
No,
but they played well enough. I mean, like you said, teams are going to sit. They get an early pen. They get a 1-0 lead out of the deal, and then they just sit back because Chelsea's not doing anything to scare teams offensively, at least in the Prem right now. So teams are seeing that mold laid out, and they're following suit.
Yeah, they got tape on them, and they're just going to have to be better. They have to be better in the final third, or they're going to find themselves in some real big trouble going against, not that Everton's a bad team, but again, like you said, Everton didn't exactly play great, good enough to win.
Yeah, they did just enough.
Why is this troll on here?
Everyone's mom. The Llama Lord on Twitch. Hey, that's what you get from the gamer section of the world.
I don't know if that was a shot at me. Hey, I'm a Chelsea fan, man. If you are too, or if you even care, I get what you're saying. Everybody has a bad game. I think that's what that means.
I'm pretty sure that's what that's an interesting way of saying everybody has a bad game here and there.
The English slang, man. I just love it. I need more of it. But we do have a final score alert. We got it held on to be. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. It was 1-1 the full time for Spurs and Palace.
Nice.
So that works
Big
out for everybody.
Crystal Palace, DC, Crystal Palace, Atlanta. We love you guys. OG original followers.
They really are. They really are the OGs.
I'll have to send them a nice little tweet after the show, congratulating them on a 1-point draw at home against Spurs.
All the other London clubs, thank you.
Oh, yes. So let's update the table now. Spurs will still lead, but they have a game in hand on Liverpool. So it's only a 1 point.
And we have Liverpool coming up.
Liverpool's coming up very shortly, playing Fulham at Craven Cottage. So
I don't know. I don't have a good feeling about it.
Fulham's been playing a bit better of lately, but
very little bit better.
Very little bits better. But,
yeah, Liverpool's a different beast.
It is. Even this whole busted up, changed up Liverpool squad is heavy favorites on the road against Fulham. So
just keep it within maybe like 3-0 here.
Yeah.
You don't want. This is where it gets dicey when you start like giving up your goal differential down the shitter. When you give up like 5 goals.
Well, you're almost assured Burnley's going to grab at least a point today playing Arsenal. So you got to stay up and be somewhat safe.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
West Brom already dropped points yesterday, so you're safe there. Who else at the bottom? That's pretty much it at the bottom. So, yeah, I mean, Fulham's just got to, like you said, they got to keep it within maybe like losing by 3 and not let your GD get too out of hand here.
Yeah.
Oh, we were getting there, Eddie. We were getting there.
Yeah.
We were talking. Him and I talked a little pre-show about that. We'll get there.
It's not good. It was not good. I saw once I was like, it's 3. My brother's like, "Ooh, Dortmund is in shambles," and I looked at the score and I'm like, "Oh God, what is going on?" Let's say that I'll say Bayern fleeced Dortmund in that Mats Hummels deal so badly. So badly.
It was a return to home.
Talk about a nostalgia deal. paying fucking $40 million for a defender who's past his prime and is slow as fucking shit.
Just wait till Haaland goes to the Prem and you get Lev 4 years from now past his prime.
Yeah, for like 80 million.
Yeah, don't just be ready for it.
Please, Louis, come back. We need you.
He'll be back.
God, get the old band back together. Let's get Gundogan and Götze back on the team too, why don't we?
Yeah, bring it all back.
Get back to that 2013 Champions League final team after they're all out of their primes and like 36 years old.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. I'll talk a little bit later on about my thoughts and who we think that is a good candidate that Brian brought up off air to replace Lucien Favre. And I think a lot of people will be very excited about this certain name. Yes. You just have to stay tuned.
Way to keep them hanging.
You know what? That's what I've learned over time.
Don't give too much away.
You
learn that in the broadcasting. Yes.
Stick around.
All about the teasers. Yeah.
What else? Obviously, the Manchester Derby was yesterday. We talked a little bit about it. 0-0. 2 shots in the whole second half for both teams, not just one team. And both teams kind of saying, we don't, either of us want to lose this match, but we don't exactly want to open ourselves up to possibly get counterattacked or vice versa. So everyone was kind of just playing it pretty safe. And the scoreline indicated said kind of boring game.
It was 2 teams that are struggling in the Prem right now that were both content getting a point and getting out of there is what it looked like.
Done and dusted.
Yeah.
And I wish I had more to say. This was almost going to be like the main topic of today's show. And I'm very thankful that it wasn't like, oh, Manchester Derby, yeah, this is going to be a great game, yeah. And it's just like this snoozer of a thing.
I got more to say about West Ham going on the road Friday to Leeds and winning 2-1 and continuing their hotness. And now David Moyes is being talked about going back to United to replace Ole.
Can I just... So I think it's safe to say, is it starting to get a little nervy for both Manchester teams and to the poll, especially Manchester City, who we know Manchester City with the amount of firepower that they have up top, why are they not scoring? Please tell me why they're not scoring. I would love to hear anybody. I know Jeff's City fan. Tell me why. Lay it out for me. Pretend I don't know anything about soccer and just lay it out for me in layman's terms why that front 3 cannot do shit right now.
Because they all felt that they were disrespected in the Messi talk.
They're throwing games out there in Manchester. They said, I don't want Pep anymore. Fuck this guy.
Maybe it. I mean, here's the thing, and I'll bring my team into it because why not? Because there's nothing positive I can talk about them. But once again, my man Mesut was in the news again, and it was told of him by a legendary coach who has gotten the best out of many, many players, that he wasn't an issue to coach, but he's the type of player who's an artist and can be a bit sensitive. And maybe we're having some sensitivity issues because that seems to be the thing. I mean, Sané's not walking back in the door. Sané's in Germany enjoying life now. So, yes, Aguero's not scoring. Yes, Gabby's not scoring. But there's more to it. There's more to it. You have De Bruyne. You have Raheem Sterling. You have guys that made careers and made a lot of money putting the ball in the net that are not.
Yeah.
So where's the disconnect? Is it Pep? Is he 1 foot out the door still? Like we thought maybe a year ago when all that controversy came up, and maybe that's part of the issue. I'm with you, bro. I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't know.
It's bad enough my team doesn't score when you have, bona fide scorers on that front line. But if I'm a City fan and I'm seeing that, at least on the Prem side, I mean, that's got to be difficult. Yeah, you did a great job running through Group C in Champions League. Wow. Who'd you beat?
Yeah.
But now, now you're back with the big boys and you're still not getting it done. To see a City team sitting there, not even worrying about where they're at in the table, but to only be +6 in goal differential, and it's not like they're leaking out a lot. So
No.
they're just not producing.
Yeah, it's puzzling how that they're just not, I don't know. It's a weird thing to try and figure out right now. And I'm sure they're sitting there in the locker room after games, like thinking the same thing. Like, how the hell? And I'm looking around the room. I got all these great players. How are we not scoring?
Yeah.
And that gets in your head. I'm assuming you're like, well, now things are going to be a little tighter out there. Once you're worried about getting that one chance to score, and maybe, you're more leaning back on when you shoot, you're thinking way too much in it. And just confidence goes a long way in sports, and especially for a goal scorer. You could see guys go on huge goal droughts. And
yeah. I'm living it right now.
Mr. Aubameyang over there.
Yeah. It's not fun, and it's very mental. I mean, this game, if anybody doesn't know, this game is a lot of mental. Tommy says it's sports in general all the time. He just said it this week. Sports in general, 70, 80, 90% mental. And once it gets in your head, it becomes an issue. You got to play out of your head. I tell the guys on my Sunday league team, play out of your head, get out of your head. Your head is the worst place you could be. Play what you know. Play like you're a kid again. Play the game. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. Stop thinking. The moment you start to break down and continuously keep thinking and thinking and thinking is when you fail.
Exactly. Or be more.
What up, E? Eric joined us.
That's what's up. Chiming in on YouTube.
Love it. We've been looking for the YouTube following, so.
I mean, it's a large platform, and that's another thing for 2021. You got to hammer that damn YouTube.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah, like you said, I mean, going back to Friday, West Ham with a nice West Ham sitting in like 5th.
Yeah, well, drop to 6 with Hampton, but yeah, 6 right now.
I mean, it's like
crazy.
Getting scoring from your defenders like Ogbonna, and I know Sushek is more in the midfield now. He has to, because you can't take him off.
Pickup of the year.
You can't take him off the field. He keeps scoring.
Waiver wire pickup of the year.
That's those kind of moves wins you titles in fantasy.
Sir. I'll take it. If Arsenal can't do it, I might as well. I gotta do something.
Yes, please be a West Ham fan and just jinx them with our jinxing of certain teams.
Well, all I can say is ever since Triple H came out and gave his opinion on what West Ham should do, that team has been absolutely on fire. They were able to keep everybody together so far. They've added some nice little pieces, and they're playing good ball. You can't deny what they're doing.
Their pickup last year of Jared Bowen, I think, has been their best pickup in a long time, because that boy can play.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
They're getting the best out of everybody right now, and it's amazing. from a team that, with about 4 to 5 weeks at the end of last season, we were pretty much sure was going to just continue to collapse and possibly get relegated. I mean, what'd they go, like 6 weeks last year in that October span without a single point? I mean, they were dreadful. And now to be turned it around the way they have, and they're going on the road, they're beating good teams, they're not letting up leads like they were last year. It's impressive so far, and there's a lot of time for that to change. But
yeah, I mean, David Moyes is, I guess, pressing the right buttons. I don't know.
He was, yeah. Is it him or is it just the players? They've added some good players and they're just playing good ball. I mean, in spite of him, Yeah, that was a nice pickup.
But yeah, I mean, they're getting production from their defensemen, and when you can do that, you're going to win some games. And you saw it the other day. Yeah. And again, Leeds is playing well, but just, not enough to get into that, top 8 where they were at whatever a month ago. They're kind of going to be in that range of probably like 10 to 12.
Yeah, they'll be okay. They are, I guess as we always say from our boy Denny Green, they are what we thought they were.
Exactly.
They're a team that can put the ball in the net, but are going to struggle on defense at times, and it's going to cost them games here and there.
Oh yeah, all the time. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, at least they're not leaking in 3+ goals. They got it down to 2.
Yeah.
But
they're lucky they're in a position right now that there's a lot of other really bad teams.
Yeah.
And that early success, like we talked about last week, having some early success in the season and picking up some points could save you late in the year from being in that relegation talk.
Right. And again, it is the year where you have Burnley really bad.
Yeah.
And the 2 other teams, your other relegated or promoted, West Brom's kind of down there, going to be fighting for their Premier League lives probably when it comes down to the end of the season. And then you got Sheffield just sitting in the basement. You could probably chalk that up as 1 at this point.
Yeah.
If they don't win here before Boxing Day, I would pencil them in as possibly already a third of the way through. You could probably say that they're going to go down.
Yeah. Hey, we saw it with Watford last year. They got hot at the end of the season. It just wasn't enough for them to save how bad they were in the beginning of the year. So just like the other way, it works the same way. You continue to not pick up points early in the year, and it's really going to kill you late in the season. So,
I mean, I would rather have that Watford team than this Sheffield squad.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like, that's bad. When you say you'd rather have last year's Watford team in the league over anybody, that you got to be playing really bad.
Which Watford was in shambles.
Historically bad. Yeah, that team was historically bad.
3 coaches in 1 season. 4. I'm sorry, Hayden Mullins.
I was gonna say, how do you forget your boy? He coached that team like 3 times last year.
Yep, you got to throw him out there when you got nobody left.
Just roll out Hayden Mullins.
Don't worry, we'll see the Hornets back next season.
It's possible. They did drop back in the table again the last I saw, but they were creeping up there.
We could see Bournemouth and Norwich back.
We could. Actually, I want to look up. I want to
both
see
sitting 1-2.
I want to see that table right now.
Bournemouth looks like to be the Leeds of this year, just running away with it.
I don't know. Norwich took them over.
Did they?
I didn't even see that. Norwich is everybody's through 18. Yeah, they all played now. Norwich at 37 points, Bournemouth at 34, and Swansea and Watford tied at 33.
Oh man,
Oh, and Reading. Sorry, Reading's in there too. Reading.
Don't sleep on Reading.
Don't sleep on Reading. Don't sleep on Brentford. They're still in the mix too. The Hornets.
Always.
Or the Bees or whatever they are. The Bees and the Hornets and
any other things that can sting you.
Yeah. Rooting for Watford could sting you pretty poorly.
I'd throw myself off the old bridge if I was a Watford fan last year. That was brutal.
It was. Man, good old Norwich back doing their thing.
Exciting times in the championship in the second division.
Yes.
As my tricky trees, Nottingham Forest, continue to fight relegation.
How's Timo doing? What's he doing this year? Oh, he's got 9.
Pookie scored a brace yesterday, I saw.
He's killing it.
Typical
Timo.
They don't have. It's like the same roster. I mean, Toddy, Cantwell, and Pookie, Buendia still on the team. It's still a good championship side.
Still being goal kept by Tim Krul.
That's problem number 1 right there.
And you know what's crazy? You know who the only other guy to play goalie for them is? Somebody older than Tim Krul. The old North Irish Michael McGovern has six caps for them this year.
The stars are aligning.
36 years old. 36 and 32 is the ages of your 2 goaltenders that have seen competition this year.
You're gonna see those Canaries emerge from the shafts.
Oh man,
shafts coming out.
Oh boy.
Eric says big game on Wednesday. We got Spurs versus the Poo.
You'll never see me a bigger Liverpool fan.
The Reds. Yeah, that should be good. We'll get into that a little bit later on.
Yeah, speaking of, they are kicking off any moment now.
Fulham, Liverpool. Kickoff from the cottage.
From the cottage. No score yet. 2 minutes into the game. That's a good sign for Fulham. So
they're doing something right.
Speaking of quick goals, our man El Marone yesterday with the quickest goal of the Premier League season.
Yeah. How about
in
that?
That 2-1 dub for Newcastle.
First attack down the field, he puts it in the net.
Yeah, that was a nice little left-footed shot there.
Newcastle is so frustrating. They put in performances like that, and then they'll have a total just like shit game.
Eric, you're taking back first place today, brother. I can tell you that right now. You don't have to worry. You don't have to wait till Wednesday. You can have first place back today because thanks to Crystal Palace doing their thing and drawing the Spurs.
Please take it. We don't. Nobody wants first place anymore.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But yeah,
I like the parity this year, though. I like it. So far, so good.
Yeah, I mean,
this league is better when there's parity.
I do enjoy the West Ham. I feel like it's West Ham and Southampton, I think, are great stories so far. And I think Manager of the Year talk, hashtag, Ralph Hasenhüttl. Coach of the Year.
The man.
I love yeah. So do we, Mark. So do we. That's why we do this every week. That's why we do it. You know, it's a nice, especially today, it's a nice little warm-up before your Sunday fun day. You get to sit down and watch American football all day. It's great.
Yeah. That's, I've been wanting to talk about that, and I don't know who's listening or who's not, but I want to make it clear again, and I think, you and I are going to have to do a little testimonial here, but I'm tired of people, I guess, just assuming because you and I have the love for this game and have decided that in this broadcasting field to take on, doing a soccer show, that just because of that, it somehow takes away from our knowledge of other sports. And I think people need to start realizing how wrong and stupid that narrative is. And the fact that you and I, have gained a love for this game later in life, and have, sat down and decided, because we have so much love and nobody else does this sport, that it was our mission to do this.
Spread the word.
Please don't let that make you think or take away from our fandom of other sports and our knowledge of other sports, because you and I have been around sports our entire lives. And I am a huge football American guy. I am a huge, and you are, I know as well, baseball guy. There's a lot of things that people don't realize, and they only see what they want to see or hear what they want to hear. But I'm going to drop something on A2D pretty soon that people are going to be like, oh, wow, maybe he really is, a sports guy and not just a soccer guy. So
yeah, I know I haven't seen it per se, because I just sit back and listen. Like, I'm not like you, just like dropping your little troll knowledge. Like, I'm more of a guy that's going to sit back and laugh at all the chaos that happens in the A2D forums and whatnot. But
that's why we're such a good dynamic.
In my head, I want to comment, but I'm not a good arguer. Like, I get too vicious.
I know. Hey, you've stepped up and took my back a few times. That's that's all we can ask for. That's all we can ask for.
If I see slander from my mans, it's especially from that kook. I mean, fuck.
Oh man, that little. You still haven't. When's the last time you heard from that little coward? Nothing.
But I mean, yeah, that's a good thing to bring up, because soccer wasn't always our top sport, and I could shoot the shit about the Eagles. I mean, I think that's another thing for 2021 that I want to get on some of these other shows on the A2D platform, because everybody thinks like we just want to talk soccer and, that's all they care about, and they don't know anything about football or baseball, because soccer is just so nichey. It's like, no, like, I love the Eagles. You love the Phillies and the Giants. Like, the Sixers, like, everything comes into play.
Knicks, I'll still support my Knicks.
I just don't say anything about it, because it's not. I see what goes on talking about the Eagles, and it just makes me so mad that I don't even like drop a comment, because I don't feel like arguing. Literally every day, I see something so stupid on.
Oh yeah,
and
there's an argument to be had every day.
I'm like, don't do it. Don't rile yourself up, especially during these weird times. You don't need any more stress on your damn life. But yeah, it's a good thing to bring up.
Yeah, I just want people to start dropping a little respect on the name. That's all, and understand that we took a gamble taking on the toughest sport to talk about in this country, and that's it.
Yeah.
But the love is there, and you and I talked about, we want to spread the love of this game and make people understand there's so much more than just the narrative of soccer's for softies and this, that, and the other thing that has been put on this game over the years. And I think we've done a pretty good job. I think we've opened a few ears so far already.
I think we're turning some people onto soccer. I think we're bringing people out of the woodwork that don't have friends that they can talk about the game with. So we sat down, I think, whatever that was, almost a year and a half ago. And we're like, we could have done an Eagles podcast like everybody else. We could have done, no offense to everybody in the sports Philly market, but there's just so much. And we wanted to do something different. And we did. We took a gamble. We're like, we want to talk something that nobody else is talking about, and not just Eagles, Sixers, Phillies. We want to take that extra leap and talk about something that maybe not a lot of people enjoy, maybe not a lot of people know about, but we wanted to spread that word and have a safe space for people to come and talk and listen to us. Maybe they'll learn a new thing every day. You never know, every Saturday or Sunday.
Or you get certain guys that have come out and said, hey, you know what, I do enjoy this sport, but I never had anybody that, place it, like you said, a safe place to talk about it. So
that's why we're here. That's why we do this.
Yes.
But yeah, that was a good topic.
I just had to get that. It's been bothering me all week. So I had to get that off my chest.
Don't like Eric said, keep the noise out.
I know. I talk about it. Stay out of your own head, right?
Yep.
Easier said than done sometimes, but
yeah. Good points all around.
Appreciate the opportunity being here. So,
I guess as far as Champions League, dive into that quick. Like we said in the beginning of the show, that we have reached the round of 16. If you missed the beginning, the draw will be tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Eastern time. We should know all the matchups. Looking forward to the round of 16. Some big names in there. Some big names that will not be there. AKA Manchester United will not be joining the big boys table this year.
Nope, they got to sit at the kids' table.
Inter Milan again for the second straight year. I believe they will. Or
third, I think. I think this is 3 now.
Yeah. So they will not be joining the table anymore. Nope. Madrid was able to sneak by. Luckily, after their... You know what a team... Speaking of La Liga, Barcelona is in shambles.
Yeah, what's up with that? Like...
They lost some recently promoted team last week.
Yeah, they found a way. Again, they're another team that are finding a way in Champions League against a little bit inferior competition in their group.
Right.
Making themselves look a little better maybe than they are. But when it really comes to the reality of it, when you put them back into their league plays and as a whole, they're struggling right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to find a face, and they don't seem to have it. I think this whole Messi thing's still hanging over their head.
I was just about to say that.
I think, I don't know. I don't know what's going on there, but they were, they obviously had the benefit of playing in a really poor group, or they might have been in a little bit more trouble than some of these other guys.
I mean, and also that squad is just getting old. Like PK is old. Messi's getting up there. Busquets is getting up there. Jordi Alba's getting up there. Like, they're no spring chickens anymore.
No, the Griezmann thing hasn't worked out.
Not at all.
Dembele can't stay healthy, and every time you turn around the corner, he's out the door anyway. So it's the only guy worth watching to me on that entire team right now is Dest.
Yeah, that's something like, dude, he's starting.
Yeah,
for Barcelona
and playing well.
Mm-hmm.
McKinney starting for Juventus and playing well, scoring goals. I mean, it's great.
You got a lot of dudes in the U.S. team that are making some big-time impacts at some of these huge clubs around the world. And that's where we want. That's where we want to be as a U.S. soccer as a whole.
Go down the last 16 teams that are going to get drawn tomorrow morning, and you're plucking U.S. guys off almost every one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do you have the 16?
Yeah, so the 16 is Bayern, U.S. player. Atletico.
Oh, sweet.
Then you got Madrid. You got Gladbach. You got City and Porto. Liverpool, Atlanta. Chelsea, Sevilla. Dortmund, Lazio. Juve, Barca. PSG, Leipzig. So Leipzig, U.S. player. Barca, U.S. player. Juve, U.S. player. Dortmund, U.S. player. Chelsea, U.S. player. City, U.S. player. and Byron, U.S. player.
That's pretty good.
And all playing pretty key roles. I mean, not so much at Byron and not so much at City right now. I think that's going to change too, probably.
In due time.
But other than that, I mean, all those other teams, you're naming all starters. Pulisic when healthy at Chelsea. So yeah, I mean, Gio, we talked about that before the show came on. You and I in the pre-show. I mean, how well has this kid played? As bad as it was for Dortmund yesterday, that goal from him was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, he should have had 2, but they called one offsides.
Yeah, the kid just turned 18 years old.
It's one of those where, again, to segue slowly into this U.S. national team talk, it's exciting. It's a lot of good. It's players making huge impacts for these top 10 teams around the world. And this is just a stepping stone. Hopefully, expectation going into the World Cup this 2022 is probably like maybe win a game, get out of the group and maybe win a game.
Yeah. And I'd be okay with that. You know, obviously you want to win. Everybody wants to win. You want to, but you got to be realistic in your expectations sometimes.
Because this is like the last hurrah for a lot of these countries to really make a chance to win. Like, this is Belgium's last go.
That group's all of a sudden looking real old. Those wonder kids of Belgium. Yeah.
This is their time to shine, the Belgians. So they're going to be done. I mean, Spain is getting, kind of long in the tooth itself, trying to find these young players to plug in there, like your Lucas Vazquez's of the world, Asensio's. But they're getting down there, Germany's looking shaky as hell recently.
Yeah.
So we don't know what they're going to have in 2022. Obviously, England's on the uptick. France is kind of like still young enough where you can be like, all right. I mean, but it
depends on who they take too. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if there's certain teams that are trending upwards, I think we're definitely in that conversation.
You would think so.
We just need to, once I see like a World Cup qualifying game, then maybe I'll judge a little bit more, because these are just friendlies that we're playing an El Salvador team with our B team, essentially. And we're still looking good.
That team, that game, I mean, you can't take anything away from that game. They did anything less than what they did might have been upsetting, but they did what you expect them to do, even with a B team against a team like El Salvador.
And it's a huge
Everybody contributed.
It's a huge stride for not only the U.S., but for the Philly market as well, with Aronson and McKenzie both starting.
Yeah.
And playing well.
Yeah, Aronson gets a goal, which was, it was the last one of the 6, but it was a beautiful goal.
And McKenzie got a goal, but for whatever reason they called it offsides, even though he was definitely on. It's nice. Greg's going to have some serious decisions to make on what he's going to pull from his European players to his MLS pool and make a perfect mix of 23 guys.
I think there's literally, at this point, I think there's maybe one MLS guy that has a case, and that's Leggett.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Because, he looked really poor when he was thrown into that striker role, but that's not a position that guy ever plays, and that was just bad coaching in that one game where they put him in there, and it was not, he had a pretty poor performance. But ever since he's been put back into a proper position in every game he's played, he's looked good and he's scored. He's the only guy, that, in the MLS out of all these U.S. guys that looks consistent as far as this team goes. Everything else is all these guys from Europe.
Right. Again,
I want to see Aaron. Yeah.
he's going to have some interesting choices to make, which isn't a bad thing.
No.
But yeah, I mean,
Mueller looked good.
I told you, I was waiting for Chris to get a call up.
Yeah. Again, I don't know if some of these guys are quite ready for the full squad, though. I mean,
no.
I do like McKenzie. I would like to continue. McKenzie's another one, although I don't feel he'll probably be in the MLS much longer. Talks keep happening with him. As of now, it looks like he's here to stay in Philly for a little bit, but I mean, he's one. Defense is definitely a place where we're going to need as much help as possible. So I would like, I'd like his opportunity to continue. I'd prefer him over like a Zimmerman or honestly even Aaron Long at this point.
Yeah.
So
probably. I mean, you hope that McKenzie and Chris Richards, who's on Bayern, eventually can step into a role, as a center back pairing.
Yeah. With Brooks getting a little older, that would be nice. I would take McKenzie or Richards over Tim Ream.
Yeah, Timmy's another one. He's getting along in the tooth. Yeah.
I like him, though. I mean, I like him as part of that team just because the competition he plays week in and week out. But I don't necessarily need him in a starting role.
No.
Speaking of, how's he doing? Is he playing today?
It seems like it's still 0-0 here in the 20th minute between Liverpool and Fulham.
Yeah, he is not in the 11. He is in the 18 today for Fulham, but they went with a different type of formation this week. So
got to switch it up, Scotty Parker.
Yeah, running that 3-4-2-1.
I like it. But yeah, that's kind of a little Champions League. We'll have a little bit more to talk about next Saturday once we know all the matchups and start making some fun little predictions maybe for that first round of games. And yeah, U.S. national team, it's, again, take it with a grain of salt. It's good to see some of these young MLS kids get an opportunity to show what they got and maybe make a case to maybe not this year, maybe 2026. I could see Aronson and McKenzie, but you never know.
Yeah.
Never know.
Yeah, who else? Was there anybody else notable? Not really. I mean, a lot of guys got on the pitch because it was a friendly, unlimited subs. Soto got in. Soto's one, I think, that makes the team. He's played well.
He's good, but he still has to choose between us and Chile.
Yeah, he's still up in the air, so we shall see. And again, we still got to convince Musa.
Which seems like he's probably leaning to the U.S., I would assume, but
it's sounding that way. My man Kyle Duncan got in the game, so
I saw
cool.
that. Yeah,
that was cool for
him.
him.
Kellen Acosta came back.
Yeah,
haven't seen his name floating around a lot anymore. Kind of fizzed out.
Yeah, well, I hate to say it, but it's kind of it's a good thing because that means there's so many other guys stepping up and playing at a high level that the guys, 4 to 6 years ago that we looked to be our future are kind of all not part of the future anymore, which is a great thing because that future wasn't looking so bright at one point.
Right. Well, I was thinking about this, why I think soccer is getting a lot bigger and we're getting actually good players. People are saying, fuck college.
Yeah.
And just going to the academy route. You play literally all day, every day. You're playing better competition probably in academies against another kids that are probably just as good as you. Instead of going the college route where it's like, yeah, there's good players in Division I, but you don't see a lot of guys that go the college route and make a big impact. I know that Daryl DK on Orlando, who is a college kid, but I mean, that's one out of thousands of people. Like the Union literally traded all their draft picks last year just to get more international spots.
And that's a smart move if you're trying to win in this league. If you're just trying to be a factory, then, keep bringing in these college kids and, maybe one pans out by his 27th birthday and you sell him to a low-level club in Europe for $2-3 million, and that, you're happy with that. But if you want to continue to be competitive in this league and win, you got to get those internationals in here.
And that's the other thing, though. By the time you're done playing college soccer, you're probably like 22, 23 years old.
Yeah.
You're way behind.
Yeah. If you're not starting for Dortmund and scoring goals at 17,
which is a good thing to have.
Yeah,
if you're not in Barcelona, Chelsea, Juve, or Dortmund, we don't need you. That's what it comes down to, but that's great.
We're there. That's what we've begged for. That's what we've wanted. We are now there. Now we have to go here, not...
I need you here. You're here. I need you here.
Yeah.
We're on that uptick. That's all I care about.
Yeah, we're like the little guy from The Price is Right, the little yodeler. We just can't get to the end. Yeah. Just fall off,
Well, guess what? I'm telling you, the other countries are like, the little brother, the USA, is starting to figure out how to play soccer.
Yeah.
We kick ass in a lot of other sports around the world. They're going to be like, come on, guys, let us just have one sport where we can win.
It's time to take it.
Seize the opportunity. I'm telling you, 2026, I'm with, again, Richie Ledesma. I feel bad. He tore his ACL. That's terrible to see. But the other day, he did say that he really does think that the U.S., with the talent, they can compete in 2026. And we host.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a story? A Cinderella story? A little team, this country that developed soccer way after half the world wins a World Cup on home soil.
Their home turf. There'll be just a mid of controversy behind all of that, I'm sure.
But that screams Disney movie to me.
Oh, yeah.
The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Who's going to headline is going to be the question.
That's true.
Is it going to be the savvy veteran in Pulisic, or is it going to be the young stars in McKinney and Gio? Are we going to get enough defending to compete on the world stage?
Only time will tell.
Goalkeeping. Yeah. It's exciting, though. And almost exciting as Fulham taking a 1-0 lead over Liverpool. 25 minutes into the game, Cordova Reed, as long as it stands, it looks like it's going to stand. I don't hear any VAR chirpings or controversy. So far, so good. Looks like it's holding up. I might have spoke too soon for Eric, telling him he was going to get first place back this weekend.
There you go. The announcer curse.
The old announcer curse.
You hate to see it. But hey, if the Cottagers can get a goal, that'd be fantastic.
And I mean, Liverpool's running with a full squad, so
I wonder what Klopp's excuse there. I wonder what Klopp's excuse will be after this one.
Too many games.
There you go.
He's preparing for Chelsea.
Yeah, he's looking ahead of
for Spurs.
Hey, is this a trap game for Liverpool?
It could be.
Looking ahead to Spurs on Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever it is. Wednesday.
There's also 65 minutes left.
So I know. I just get excited. So. I get excited.
You get excited for Fulham. That's what it is. You got that small little place in your heart. There it is. There it is.
Still hanging out proudly.
Yes.
Stefan Johansson. I don't even think he's on the squad.
No, I'm pretty sure he's not been on the Fulham squad for some time now.
Speaking of, I feel like there's a good my jersey, I want to give a shout out to Emelec out of the Ecuadorian First Division.
Yes.
I got this great jersey from them. Again, I know I don't like to do free plugs, but this website called Away Days, I don't know if you guys heard about it. You basically sign up. You could do a one offer. You don't have to do like a membership, but you basically click and you can get a random jersey shipped to you. You could do either big clubs or you could do more like the smaller ones like I got. Like $25.
Can't go wrong.
Just up your jersey game a little bit. So I feel like shout out to Emelec out of the Ecuadorian First Division.
Adam single-handedly sunk their chances of winning anything this season.
Watching like they're in first place and they didn't drop. Let's
love
go.
it. Yes,
that's what's up, man. I'm telling you, Eddie. Look it up.
Yeah, no, jump on them. I'm jumping on them too. You're gonna see going into 2021 just new kits week after week,
and they're pretty legit too.
No, it's nice. I love it. It's good color on you. Yes, they have all people sizes. You put in your size and they pick, out of everything. Yes. Your size gets locked in and then they know when they send you one to send in that size. And they'll even tell you, like, if they're running low on a certain size, like, there'll be a hold, I've noticed, but as soon as they get something in that size, they will send it. So Tommy heard that one. Great color on you.
Model.
Who doesn't enjoy a nice Sunday morning Pilsner?
I mean, that's what I'm getting into after this. They do have all shapes and sizes. I know soccer jerseys can run a little tight, but the guy that runs this, he's pretty good about knowing like what jerseys are. Like Adidas runs a little like looser, not so tight. I know, was it Puma? I think has a little bit of the tighter. Is that what Arsenal has?
Yeah, Puma runs a little. Arsenal was Puma. They're now Adidas. That was their last deal was with Puma. Puma does run a bit tight.
So this guy's pretty good about, like I got a large and he just figured, I guess it's a little looser, but it fits nice. It's not like too like tight.
Yeah.
Because again, we're not soccer players and we don't have six packs. Let's be honest.
No.
So, but yeah, jump on that, Eddie. That's, and it's good gifts for other people if you're looking for a Christmas idea for somebody. They do. That's the second week in a row I said do. Damn it.
You must be thinking about the other football team in this city. Do.
That dollars. But yeah, this website has, you could do random like little photos. You could do random scarves. You can do like a mystery picture. Like it's a shit ton of things you can do.
Stickers. I think
stickers. Yep.
Sticker package. Yeah.
I got a framed photo of the Velodrome in Marseille's home stadium. Whatever it's called. I forget what it's called.
That would be dope. A Forest Green Rovers top.
Yeah.
The tricky thing with him is it's random, so you don't get the option. He sends you what he sends you. So anything, along the lines of wanting something specific, have to do a little digging. But you could maybe always message him too. He seems pretty pretty open and legit. So,
and if you do it like multiple times, like you just drop in the comments like what teams like you already received.
Yeah. He's
so he
big on not wanting to send you the same stuff.
The double. Yep. But yeah, speaking of that, before we move on, I got an email back from this custom scarf guy. He said he's going to have a design for us on Tuesday. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Nice. Just in time for the cold weather too.
Yeah. So again, like we said last week, if you're interested in getting a Kickin' It Stateside scarf, let us know. Drop it in one of our comments or DM us on any social media, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you want to do. Just let us know. I don't know pricing, but hopefully for the new year, we'll have a cool Kickin' at Stateside scarf. And then hopefully we can sit down with Alex at Philly Drinkers and work something out as well with them once things start to get normal.
Yeah, I would love, I can just envision like 30, 40 deep of A2D personalities and fans rolling into Subaru Park with drums and scarves and just making a whole lot of noise and a whole lot of ruckus down there next season.
Yeah.
And just letting everybody know what it is.
I have and some custom like shirts, like Kickin' at Stateside custom shirts. I know they have them on Philly Drinkers with just our logo, but to just come up with some like cool, like give the people what they want or something like,
oh yeah,
hint, that might be on our scarves.
That is our motto.
Very excited to see this. But yeah, good things happening. 2021 is the year of the Kickin' at Stateside boys and A2D to the top.
To the top. Takeover talk, baby.
Takeover talk. Hashtag it. But yes, we have 2 games later today, though.
We sure do.
We have your lovely Arsenal boys taking on a sad Burnley team. If you don't win this game, you got some issues, brother.
I don't even want to talk about it.
You got some issues.
Like, I don't even want to discuss it. There's nothing to discuss.
I want to discuss it.
You're at home, you get 2,000 fans in the stadium, and you're playing a bottom 3 team that has shown absolutely zero this season.
That's correct.
You are now in 15th place with the way the standings are so far this season through today. There's no excuse. The best you're going to do is move to 14th place. And that's with a win. You have to win this game. That's it. That's it.
Plain and simple. Win. Just win, baby.
There's nothing. This isn't a draw. This isn't get a point and be happy and get a result. No. You have to win this game, and you have to do it convincingly. This is not a 1-0. This is not a 2-0. This has to be a 3-0, 4-1 victory. This has to be a game where you take control from the beginning. You play your best lineup. Be rest assured Oba probably gets off the schneid because I benched him in fantasy this week. That's how bad he's been. The number one overall pick in the entire draft. Bench this week.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
There's just nothing else. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to do. There's nothing else we can do as fans, as supporters on our end, other than hope and pray that this one ends in the way it should. Or, I mean, it's just really going to hit the fan. A draw is going to be bad. You lose this game, forget about it. The entire fan base it'll be over.
Calling for Arteta's head.
Yeah.
Just win.
Just win. Just win. I don't want to talk about scheme. I don't want to talk about players. I don't care who does it. I don't care if it's, the third rotated squad playing the worst Europa team in the league, and that's what it takes for them to come in and play that team and get a win. You figure it out today. Today is the day.
Just win, please.
Just win.
Or it's going to be burning the Emirates to the ground if they don't.
Yeah, I mean, You're running out of other options.
You pay your big man to score. He's not doing it.
They're 15th.
That's unacceptable.
15th. 13 points through 11 games.
It's unacceptable. Straight up.
No.
Win, win, win.
Yeah, I will. I can promise you that's the game. Like, I can't even watch it. The way my chest has been lately, the way everything's just been lately, I can't. That's gonna be that's pure DVR. Like I said, I will go back no matter the result, and I will watch it for the sanctity of what we do and be able to talk on it properly. But that game, I just can't even do it today. I can't.
We don't need that.
I'm gonna watch a little. Yeah, I'm gonna watch a little American football while that one's on today, and just decompress and forget about it. Because
talk about two teams going the opposite direction for you.
Yeah, hey, I'll take one of them right now. I'm not gonna get too happy yet. Got a lot of work to do still. But also at 2:15, the Foxes take on the Goals.
Yeah.
I'll probably watch a little bit more of that than I'll even watch this Arsenal-Burnley game. So,
yeah, I would not want to watch the Arsenal-Burnley game at all.
Yeah.
No offense.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you. Put it this way: if Arsenal loses and Brighton finds a way to beat Leicester, they'll be behind Brighton. That's how bad Arsenal is right now.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That'd be a tough way to start it almost a third through the season with yourself being behind Brighton. Sad.
They're behind Newcastle and Crystal Palace.
Sad.
They're 4 points behind Newcastle and Crystal Palace.
They'll win today.
I'm not expecting it.
That's how far the fans have expectation at 0.
Yeah. I'm expecting a point. I'm expecting them to tie this game because that's what they've shown me. That they're going to somehow play bad and play down to this competition, and they're going to tie this game.
So throw money on a tie.
Probably the way to go.
Okay.
You're probably getting like plus 260. You're probably
Hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, you might even want to take Burnley. You want to turn some money into something. I'll tell you right now what you're looking at.
Don't go chasing the big bets. That's the bad thing. That's the bad news.
Dude,
Bears.
Plus 600 for Burnley. Plus 360 on the draw.
I'll do that.
he just said, "Don't go chasing him," and now he's like, "Ooh."
I'll do 10 to win 36. I don't mind.
Yeah,
that's almost a come up.
Yeah,
triple your money quick. Yeah, I don't know. I think as far as the Leicester game goes, it's like Brighton just does enough to get by. And they've been doing that for the last 2 years. They do enough. They get enough draws, and they beat teams that they should beat. And teams that, like Leicester, somehow they'll come out fighting and somehow get a draw out of it.
Yeah. What's Brighton got? They're one of our draw kings so far this year, sitting at 4. They're tops in the table with a few other teams with 4 draws so far this year. So that's where they're getting their points from. But hey, we've said it before. Sometimes a point is a point is a point, and it saves your ass at the end of the season. So
that's what makes it fun. Sometimes a point's good.
Yeah.
If they would say you go on the road to Leicester and get a point, they'd probably be pretty happy about it.
They're all for it.
So I don't know. Leicester's another team that I can't figure out, even though I know they're up at the top. It's just sometimes they're just like, What's going on?
Yeah, they're sitting 5th right now with 21 points, and a win today puts them guaranteed in the top 3 by the end of the day. But you would never think that watching them this year. Never. They've struggled in Europa even a little bit. I mean, they got out of the table.
They didn't even win their own group.
No. Oh, no, they did.
Oh, they did.
They technically got it over Braga because of goal differential.
Okay.
They both finished with 13 points, but they had but still, like, that group was terrible.
That was theirs.
And they easily. Yeah, they
I don't know. You would have thought with Leicester's I think every guy on their defense is hurt. Like, literally, Pereira's out, Soinchu's out. That guy that they got this year, that Castilla, he's out. And they've been plugging Christian Fuchs out there. And they get this kid from France, Fofana, who's stepped in and played really well.
That was a nice find. You got to give Brendan Rodgers credit. He's finding people to plug in there.
Yeah, I mean, they're not. Again, you would think they would have struggled missing so many of their top defenders, but they're just haven't really missed a beat.
Yeah, well, this kid Mendy's played pretty well. And Diddy is back in a limited role. He's still not fully fit, but he is back, so that's going to help them. But
I saw he was playing center back.
Yeah, well, they had put him at center back before when they had some injuries, and then he got knocked. So he's been working his way back. He came in against Sheffield in a sub spot. That kid Mendy's getting the start again, but it's probably a matter of time. I mean, Johnny Evans and Fuchs,
the old guard.
Diddy's, and Diddy's due to take somebody's spot there, you would think, but you can't take Fofana. Fofana's been great.
He's been kind of their savior. Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's a good thing if you're Leicester, because when you do get healthy, you found some help, and Vardy's that fountain of youth still going.
He's still rolling.
Yeah. So again, I don't know. You just sit back. I guess with them, you just sit back and watch. They're tough to predict. They're that team you don't bet because you're just asking for trouble, trying to pick that team week after week.
No, they've burned me twice. No more. No more. You cannot burn me.
It's looking like Fulham's going to take this lead into halftime, which is crazy.
It looks like 1-0 for the Cottagers. Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
The halftime talk.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I wonder what that halftime speech is.
That's going to be some German swear words for sure.
Yeah, and I don't think he's got one German in his roster, so it's just going to be a bunch of guys looking at each other like, what did he say?
Do you know what the gaffer's saying? I don't.
I'm sure a couple of them probably speak German, but
probably. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what we got. We got no Monday games because, like we mentioned in the beginning, games are going to be coming thick and fast. This Christmas time, This 2-week period, there's going to be games all the time, so bear with us because we're not going to be able to really cover too much. Like, we didn't mention that much about last week's games because there's just not enough time to really dive into that, plus games yesterday, plus games on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So, again, bear with us. I know these next 2 weeks will probably make your head spin, but the fact that there's games every day is going to be something that I think all of us fans are going to be loving.
Yeah, because we got a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday slate coming up. So and then the weekend again. So it's 3 games in 7 days, basically.
Yeah.
40 games in 17 days. Yeah. So
Yeah.
and go back to a must win for Arsenal on Wednesday. They got to play Southampton. So yeah, you got to win this week. You have to win these games.
This is when squad depth really comes into play.
Yeah, really. I mean, this is huge here.
Because some of these guys have played a shit ton of games since June.
Yeah.
And it's showing.
Big time.
But yeah, I mean, roll into it. We'll talk about it. We got Tuesday, a nice little Tuesday. We got 2 games. We got Wolves-Chelsea at 1. That should be a good one. Then at 3 o'clock on Tuesday, we got City hosting West Brom.
Yeah, well, there's a chance for City to do what they do, and they'll get 3 points. They'll pick up 5 goals in goal differential, and we'll start to forget that City's been struggling again.
I'm jealous of you, Greg, for golfing. Damn you.
Yeah, damn, got his round in already. You're like me, bro. When it comes to golf, I want to be first on the links. I want dew on the grass on my tee off. I don't want anybody's footprints leading me out there. I want to be the guy.
Greg, you know this. In Philly, we panic about the littlest things. So, of course.
Yes.
We know it too well. We're reactionary. Too quick trigger.
Quick trigger. Wednesday, you got Arsenal, Hampton, Leeds, Newcastle, Leicester, Everton should be a good one.
Yeah.
Fulham, Brighton. That's a good one for guys trying to stay out of the relegation zone.
That's a game somebody's got to come up with 3.
Oh yeah, that's a big one. Liverpool, Tottenham, which we talked about. That's probably the biggest one.
That's a beauty.
Obviously, that's a monster game here. And then West Ham, Crystal.
Tell you what.
And then Thursday,
that West Ham team, they could jump up to the top 4 here by next weekend. We could be talking about the Amas.
Oh, yeah, at home against Palace. That has 3 points written all over it for him.
Nice little London derby.
Yeah. Thursday's not so hot.
Lay it on me.
Villa, Burnley.
That stinks.
Sheffield United. Sheffield Man United. Sorry, Sheffield United.
Sheffield versus United.
Sheffield v. United.
I know. I kid. Yeah, what is Thursday? Oh, you already said that, duh.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
But yeah, like we said, packed schedule coming up here. And then again, we're turning right back around and we're doing it again on the weekend, next weekend.
Yeah, you got to love it. We'll have plenty to talk about going into next weekend show. We'll have 2 weeks worth of games, basically, so.
I love it. You can never get enough, especially with Champions League draw coming up. You get that talk.
And with no Champions League to watch in the midweek, and now you have Prem to watch in the midweek. Plus all the other leagues, that we promote. Speaking of, we got a few minutes left. We might as well go back to your good old gaffer of Dortmund.
Yeah.
Getting the boot. Out the door.
Saw it coming.
You lose 5-1 to Stuttgart, man.
Boys,
just the way they've been playing.
Boys ain't playing for them anymore.
Yeah.
Just no killer instinct, I said.
So it's a good time to make the move, I guess. You're heading into the round of 16 in Champions League.
Well,
you have some good young talent. You have some guys that are going to need to move soon and pick up some money. Somebody's got to take this over and get this thing going back in the right direction. And who's that going to be?
I mean, we did tease a great name that was possibly being linked to it, which makes a lot of sense. Red Bull Salzburg coach USA's own Jesse Marsh.
Would he make this jump? Would the Red Bull people allow it?
I feel like no.
I feel like if their plan, like you and I have thought, was to eventually have him take over the Leipzig job, then it's no. But money talks, and if they make the right call to Salzburg, and again, he may not want to. Who knows? Who knows where his head's at? He knows he's bringing in Aronson now.
Oh, yeah,
Salzburg
right.
next year. So it's like, do you give up that to go coach Gio? And who wouldn't want to coach Gio Reyna and Haaland right now?
Seriously, though. I mean, he's got, again, it all depends on what the Red Bull system wants to do. Do they feel Nagelsmann's about to be out and Jesse's going to slide in there next summer? Or do they still feel Nagelsmann's got a few years left in him? And, if they can, I don't even know, do they do trades in Europe like that? Like, do they just let him walk
I don't think
away?
so. I'm sure there would be financial compensation. I don't know if it's necessarily a trade, but I'm sure there's always financial compensation in Europe.
I was gonna say, you don't
you
don't just grab like an upcoming like really good coach for like nothing.
Yeah.
And just pluck him away from a Salzburg team who's known to have a great academy and bring up some pretty good players. And again, I want Aronson to be coached by Jesse. For his first little stint, I would rather be comfortable with an American and someone that he at least knows to be his coach.
Well, there's going to be a lot of interesting names, I think, tossed around Dortmund. That was ours, who we would like just because we love Jesse here. But that's probably not going to happen. I know another huge one that's like there's probably a 2% chance of happening, but Klopp's ears might open up.
Oh God.
As a challenge to take on. The guy's always looking for a challenge, right? He's running out of challenges at Liverpool.
He's never
getting fed up with the English football, he's getting fed up with the Premier League and the television contracts, and he's
wouldn't that be a freaking nostalgia story?
Right? Like, how cool would that be?
To go back
it won't ever happen.
No,
it won't happen, but it would be cool to throw it around there. All the crappy, silly season rumors why can't we throw one out there? Klopp linked to Dortmund.
We could throw some
Klopp loses to Fulham and walks out and signs with Dortmund.
Resign.
Yeah, resigns his spot with Liverpool after loss to Fulham. Signs with Dortmund.
Oh, that would be so 2020. That'd be too perfect. In a perfect world, I would love that, but
start that Twitter rumor today.
Yeah. Sources tell me that Jurgen Klopp is considering moving to back to Dortmund.
I love that. Know. You just all you got to do is put sources on there, and you're golden.
We're technically a source.
I'm a source, like a thesaurus.
Source kicking it stateside. Journalists Adam and Brian.
Hey, it's coming, baby. It's coming. I'm prepared to be someone's source at some point.
I'll be somebody's source.
Don't take it there.
I know.
Reel it in.
Slap yourself. But yeah, I don't know. What kind of coach. There's probably they'll probably get some like weird up and coming like French coach or some shit.
Probably. There'll probably be some interesting name thrown in there, but
what the hell is that? I was about to say Peter Pettigrew, but I think that was Harry Potter. I forget what his name is. Oh, Dieter Hecking was the old coach at Mönchengladbach.
Yeah.
He looked like a Disney villain.
They go with the old interim till some of these Prem managers get the boot.
I think Sebastian Kell, the old former Dortmund player who's on the staff, will get the interim job.
That would be nice to see.
But again, it's not flashy. Red card, yellow card before we jump out?
Yeah. You want to go?
Sure.
I'll go.
Well, it was a terrible week for the racism thing to come back into play again. It's back in the headlines. First was the Millwall thing, where it was the first game that Millwall was allowed fans back. Millwall's in the second division in England. Obviously, when they went to kneel before the match, some of the Millwall fans started booing. Obviously, that didn't sit well with anybody in the world. And I believe the team they played after that, they scored a goal and then did that knee as a celebration in front of the Millwall fans. So that was a whole thing of the booing with the kneeing for BLM. And then in the PSG Istanbul Başakşehir game in Champions League this week, the fourth official made, I guess, some racist remark, and they stopped the game. Both teams agreed to walk off the field in protest for whatever this guy said. And they eventually resumed the game the next day, but this fourth official, I believe, is getting a 10-match ban. I mean, he should get fired from whatever. I think a 10-match ban is nothing for the actions of, and it keeps on happening. So they need to make some example and stop just giving slaps on the wrist for absolute stupidity that some of these guys.
Yeah, I would give my card even more than the action itself to just the fact that he only got a 10-match ban.
Yeah.
Like that's like you got to start laying the hammer here. You got to really make people accountable for these actions and show that this doesn't have a place in our game.
And they've done everything correct, like around the world, to try and fight the racism thing this year, especially. And it continues to happen.
Well, that's
always a few bad.
Unfortunately, that's people. Yeah, and it's just there's certain people you're just never going to change. And it's unfortunate. We just got to find a way to keep them away from the things that we all love. And there's no reason to bring these things into this. Like they don't go hand in hand to me. You know,
you should be kicked out. That guy should have been kicked out and not be able to ref again.
Oh, his ref card should be revoked. Yeah, he should be done.
And those
shouldn't
fans
even be reffing
at Millwall should be banned for life from the games.
Yeah, like that dude shouldn't be reffing, kids games in Jersey on a Saturday morning. Like that guy should be done.
Yeah, you got to make an example of him, and then until they do, it's just going to keep happening.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Serie A is like, hey man, come on over here.
Yeah, ship them off to Italy. That's a good deal. Ship them all to Italy.
That'd just make Italy worse.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have this as my red card, but at 7:47 this morning, I had to read an article and change my red card, and it goes to a man who currently wears a red uniform for Ajax, and Quincy Promise.
What's Quincy
who
saying?
Apparently Quincy missed training because Quincy got arrested because Quincy may have stabbed somebody. And Quincy may have stabbed a family member in some kind of altercation. So Quincy is under arrest right now and is going to be spending 3 days in a Dutch jail till they figure out what's going on. But Quincy's in a little bit of trouble.
Not Quincy Promise.
No, it's so much promise. And yeah, I love the guy too. There's been links he was finally going to get out of Ajax and he was maybe going to come over to the Prem or somewhere. And who knows what's going to happen now because Quincy in lockdown.
Stabbing people.
Yeah, just straight stabbing people. Allegedly. Let's go allegedly here still. We're going allegedly because we're still fresh into this. But the story alleged involvement in stabbing apparently took place in July.
Oh.
And was and now it's coming up and he was just arrested this morning. So we will find out more on this incident, but right now, Quincy gets my red card for alleged
stabbing.
somebody. An alleged stabbing. So
you hate to see it. This is what what 2020 is doing to people, just stabbing your own family member or something.
Yeah. Let's just can we just like we got like 3 weeks left, dude. Can we just like get this year over with?
Yeah. I'm ready for it. Let's get these let's get these like jam-packed schedule of games in and then just call it a year.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's end it. I'm ready.
Maybe top it off with Fulham taking out Liverpool here. We got a half to go. Let's see.
It's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get it on the laptop while you're watching the your American football. There you go, G-Men.
Danny Dimes back, baby. Let's go.
Gee, I hope his hamstring's okay.
Hey, 1 week injuries, not 3-month injuries around here. We rehab and get back on the field.
Medical staff on point. I don't know. I don't know what that's like, but yes. Thank you guys again for bearing with us for switching the days up. We appreciate it. Eddie,
thank you.
Eddie, as always, chiming in. Jeff, obviously, Greg, Tommy, Eric chiming in. Mark, new guy. Thank you.
Whole squad. Everybody was here. We appreciate all you guys.
Always, always, always. Jake chiming in. Frank.
And even our llama friend from Twitch.
Yeah. He threw out that curveball, and then that just like threw me for a loop, and he dipped right after that.
Got
a hell of a way to go.
Thanks, Eddie.
You're the best, Eddie.
We're definitely gonna get you on too, bro. I know. You know, it's hectic at the crib with the kids and stuff, but we'll get you on, man.
In due
Just
time.
let us know. Like a half hour or something on a Saturday or Sunday, we can get you going. So we'd love to have you.
Hells yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll be back again next Saturday. Going back to Saturday, 10:30.
Yes.
And again, watch all these wonderful shows. We added a new show with Rachel Friday night.
Friday night.
That's going to be in just a great show to look forward to every week. So again,
you got the weekly roundups always after our show, usually on Saturdays. Another good show. I mean, all the shows. Again, we'll plug everybody. Everybody on A2D is doing good things.
To the top. All right, everybody. Have a good rest of your Sunday fun day. Be safe, and we'll see you next Saturday.
Yes, sir.